Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's Tarot Mom from Readings by the Empress. My name is Becca, and I would like to read today on the UFO hearings. I've already read a bit on them, but I want to take a deeper dive. So, we have a former CIA agent, and there were two from our military, right? Air Force, perhaps, or one maybe Navy, I don't remember, but two very high-ranking officials from our military here in the U.S. telling Congress that they have firsthand experience with seeing these strange aircraft. They call them Tic Tacs. They just went ahead and called them a Tic Tac after the little candy, because it seems like that's how it's shaped. And it was strange experiences with those, but also the CIA agent saying one-on-one conversations with fellow agents who are still working in that program, saying yes, that the U.S. government has alien remains, aliens, bodies, biologics, he said. Okay, so I want to do a deep dive. All right, first of all, I want to ask, is that true? Is that true? We have the Ten of Cups. That's sort of like, oh, there's a whole family of people there in Washington. Who knows this is true? The Three of Swords is the challenge. Okay, anybody who's ever tried to share information or obtain more information, it just hasn't been good for their career. That's what I've got here. This is over and over again. This has happened where somebody's tried to say something and been discredited or harassed or fired. So underneath it all, we have the Justice card. Okay, so these whistleblowers are saying this is not fair. There's a justice issue here. Maybe not only have they seen secrets kept from the public, but maybe they've seen some people not treated very well if they dare to share. Okay, past is Ace of Wands. Oh, this is also an opportunity. Interesting. I wonder if the former CIA agent, whistleblower, if he sees this as an opportunity. We have the Seven of Cups. Perhaps, but I think that's about, he wants to know more. He wants to force the U.S. government's hand in a way he knows he can't, but, he'd like to put the pressure on to share more information out there. Because he does feel very strongly that this would be a positive thing for humanity. Interesting. I did not know that. Above it all, we have the Three of Cups. Celebration. Yeah. It's sort of like, hey, we think this would be a good thing. Okay, immediate future is Page of Wands. Well, this does bring him some opportunity too, but I really don't feel like that was his main concern. He's more concerned about opportunities for humanity. He's concerned that all the secrecy around it in the U.S. government and the U.S. government keeping things secret is sort of like hoarding the technology. Then hoarding, like, what would happen if those technological advances were shared with the world scientists? It's like that. That's what he's concerned about. Interesting. Okay, so I want to ask Source too. Please show us what biologics the U.S. government does have. Okay, we have the Two of Cups. There's an agreement. It's not only the U.S. government. That's what I'm hearing. Oh my gosh, of course it's not. It's not only the U.S. government. So that means other governments in other parts of the world also have alien remains. Maybe two or three. I feel like it's the U.S. government and it's another and maybe another. So this is not unique to the US government at all. Huh. So I feel like the thought that maybe in Roswell in the 1950s there was a craft that crashed and there were alien remains in them. Is that true? I want to see. Ace of Cups. Oh, there's even more dirt back there. That's what that means when it's in a political reading to me. That's the language that Source has with me. My guides have. It's just like there's a lot of. It's overflowing. There's a lot more back there than just that. I almost feel like there was a communication with an alien being too, where it was not just that, but sort of almost working with this. That's when that began. Working with this alien being. So not just remains of an alien, but there may have been contact. Very interesting. Okay, but oh gosh, to me that Ace of Cups, you guys, it means, oh, there is so much. There's so much we don't know. We're not talking one contact. We're not talking one aircraft crash. We're talking ongoing communication. And technology, not only that was reverse engineered to try to figure it out, but also technology that was simply given. Interesting. So I've always seen alien species, and maybe species is the wrong word because there is a connection to humans, but I've almost seen these beings wanting to help and saving us from a lot of the worst decisions we could make, offering technology when it would be very helpful to us, but then also limits, like maybe not offering certain technology when it would be detrimental, when we can't handle it, when we just can't handle it. So some of that is direct, is what I feel like I'm hearing from guides. Some of that's been just very direct here, and advice, and let's look at this, and clarity in no, we will not give you this, or no, we will not help you to achieve that. Interesting. So anything else about this source? Seven of Swords. It's all in the background. There have been attempts. Okay, so what I'm getting here is there have been attempts by humans to try to get the inside scoop, try to get the inside information. This is my contact, right? To bring advantages to their country or to them personally. But this is foiled at every turn. This is what I get. Like the alien beings are not, no, we see your motivation. We know what's going on. No, we're not wanting to help some group of you become more powerful over another group of you. That's not what we're interested in. It's like that. So in fact, the only technology that I think they've helped with are, things that will help with peace. Okay. Ten of coins. It's not just governmental leaders. They have also interacted with very powerful human beings who have a lot of money. I mean, they're very powerful because they're globalists economically. So they've interacted with them too. How do they keep them from speaking out? The law. It's almost like they made a contract and let these folks know, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot abuse this, you cannot violate agreements, or you will be on the wrong side of galactic law. It's almost like that. And that isn't very concerning thought for people, the fear of the unknown. So it's really interesting, isn't it? will we be interacting with, and as soon as I ask this question, will we be interacting with aliens? And I just use the word aliens because why not? I mean, this is what we've always used. Will we be interacting with them in public at any point soon? But then I'm hearing, you already are. You already are. That's what I'm hearing. How do we know? Decision made, clarity, good judgment. That means the greater consciousness might help us to know. I feel like the aliens, and they are not just from one place. I feel like they understand how to tap into greater consciousness. They understand how to use that. They understand how to use vibrations. I feel like not only do they visit us from different places, but they visit us from different times. You know, time and space don't limit them because they understand how to use the greater consciousness, tap into it, work out of it. So, in other words, greater consciousness, that's also the way we would know that we are interacting with somebody from another space and time. We just need to see things from a different perspective. Also, it's not like we think it is. Oh my. So if time is not the issue, they are not limited by time, we could potentially be interacting with a being that is from the future, it's a human being hundreds of thousands of years into the future. We could potentially be interacting with somebody like that. So in other words, I feel like this hanged man is sort of like, to really understand what the possibilities are, we have to overcome our way of thinking in a linear way, our way of thinking, and things can't be two places at once, our ways of thinking about time and space. It's almost like we're interacting with ourselves. Interesting. And then we have the Knight of Cups comes up to let me know that you would also know, because this person would not cause you harm. Because this being would not cause you harm. Right. Not to say there were never any beings that visited Earth that were as clear about that, because I think there might have been, because you know, the abductions, I do think they happened, and that was experienced as harmful by the people who experienced them. So I do think that did occur at a time, and maybe it's that group that can't do that anymore, or something's going on here. But now I just get, don't worry. They would not be causing you harm. Okay. Anything else we should know? High Priestess. There's a lot more detail than even this. That's difficult for us to understand. Okay. But then again, that's again saying, listen to your intuitions. You have to tap into your greater consciousness to see it. And maybe that's saying they visit and they are walking among us. We just don't always see them with our eyes. That could be saying that too. I mean, maybe the communication is telepathic. And we can hear them, we can tap into that. If they happen to be communicating with us at that moment. It's just really, really multifaceted here. So I want to ask, will they be moving among us in a way we can see with our physical eyes soon? Like they'll just be walking down the street. Strength. As soon as we're strong enough to be okay with that. Yeah, again, there's going to be a lot more of almost wooing us, like positive messages coming in, positive help coming in, only that we can handle, and that builds up. And when we're all ready, then yes, then we could see them in physical form. But I feel like that is just a stopgap measure, because we too will be growing in telepathic communication where that's simply not necessary. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And there are some practical barriers too with physical form. I mean, you know, our atmosphere. I mean, there are some practical barriers too. Interesting. Maybe even holographic. The interaction would be holographic, perhaps, more than anything. Queen of Cups. Something about water. Interesting. I just feel like I'm hearing about things that are really beyond my understanding, about why would their physical bodies have an easier time acclimating to our atmosphere and water. I don't know, but I almost feel like that's what I'm hearing. Interesting. In any case, we will learn a lot more about how differently people, humanoids, aliens see, just perceive things and think about things, because they're not bound by linear thought. They're not bound by space and chronology and all of that. So very interesting. Anything else we should know, Source? We're pregnant with a lot of possibilities here. So this is actually, I do believe this is a good thing. And we're pregnant with a lot of possibilities, technological advances that will help us to understand. But what's more important, again, is our ideas changing, our thoughts about this and about aliens and about the greater consciousness and how things can change with belief. So we're in for some interesting things, some interesting times, but I don't get the sense that, you know, like interesting times, difficult, stretching, challenging. No, I don't feel like involvement from aliens would be those things. That's just what we're doing to ourselves. You know what I mean? That's just where we are in our own evolution. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. Thank you for going on that little journey with me. Take care. I'd love to hear your thoughts on UAPs, aircraft, your experiences, aliens, your thoughts on all that. I'd love to see those in the comments. Thank you all. Bye-bye.